Alright, this is Calibos, and we are playing Beyond the Skies. My voice is going to be a bit rough. I am hopefully recovering from an illness. I've made a couple of changes, nothing terribly big. Too far. And it's been super laggy. So I've gone ahead and I've sorted this out to process out some of the ores that I'm getting. You'll notice that we have significantly fewer. I've run into a shortcoming of mechanism, which is really annoying. So, notice this thing over here called a crusher, right? It's a crusher. I have crushing factories. So, I generally had the assumption that if something is called a crusher, that it crushes things. When it comes to ores, apparently that is incorrect. Mechanism does not crush ores. So, yeah, that's pretty silly. So, I just fed them all through the smelters. And that's why the smelters are all upgraded and the crushers are not. So that was one thing I did. And speaking of ores, let's get rid of this again. Oh, come on. There we go. Speaking of ores, I have altered this process slightly. So we are going to, you'll notice I have the elite smelting factor here. It's pretty good. So we're going to adjust this slightly. I got rid of that. I don't remember if you guys have noticed that or not. So we're going to take this and we're going to improve it and improve it and improve it and improve it. Then we're going to take an ultimate logistical transporter. We're going to toss that there. So I honestly have no faith that it's going to do the thing that I want it to do. So there we go. And this is slightly faster. I actually thought about setting up an annihilation plane, since for the most part I am, and that's from Applied Energistics. So that would be one of these. They're not super challenging to set up. And then there's the plane. The formation plane, which is the opposite side of it. Now these are actually really cool. The only reason I don't have an annihilation plane here is technically I would need 2 of them. So what they do is they basically will take a physically placed block or machine, a physically placed block of any sort in the world, and they will either destroy it for you, which can be helpful, I suppose, or they will place, the block into the ME system. So if I wanted to, I could place it against, this location here, and tell it to specifically pick up ores. And then it would specifically pick up ores. So Oops, we don't want to do that. Eat the ground, I guess. But yeah, we'd basically place it there. Oh my gosh. And it would pretty much do what the block breaker is doing. So, yeah. But this is faster. It's kind of an experiment. I'm not sure how my mana is going to keep up with this. I was kind of thinking of... I was about to jump off, but I forgot I'm not using my jetpack right now. So, I actually now have a way to... Nope, no, I don't know what I'm thinking. That's the other thing. Anyway, stuff and things. That's pretty much what I've been up to. I mean, besides making recipes, like for things, I've been, you know, just kind of filling this in, setting up a lot of auto crafting. As far as this, I've finished setting all of these up, so now all of the all these factories are pretty solid. They should be, oh yeah, automated muffling and speed upgrades. So let's get some muffling upgrades. So all of the mechanism machines for the 5x ore processing have all been muffled. Oops. Okay. So that's pretty handy. So now all of these should be relatively fast and relatively quiet. By relatively, I mean, you know, completely quiet. So if we look into here and we go mechanism and then we look at craftable items. So all of the control circuits are craftable. You know, I've got the basic chambers and stuff like that. So the ultimate tier installer, I looked into that, and 2 years ago this was put in as an installer for the next level factory, but the next level factory hasn't been put in 2 years. So I'm assuming that it's simply a dead letter item. It means nothing. But yeah, all of the different alloys and stuff like that, the control circuits. So now whenever we have something in that, we can simply have it done. Oh man, I have been kind of laggy. So I don't remember if you guys were around when I finished these. So what this does is this generates gravel and makes it available to the system. So that makes all the compressed gravel available, and this makes stone and compressed stone available. And that's really all they do, and it's full. So we had excuse me again, like I said, I'm sick. We had one recipe that we really cared about from the carpenter, and that is this basic circuit board for one of the mechanism machines. So I've automated that, and if I have to, I'm going to automate more carpenters, but I would have to go back and set up a couple of them depending on what we need. We'll see what happens when we get into forestry for real. But all it does is this tank, you see it's orange side up, so it's automatically outputting water into the carpenter. I have the recipe set, and whenever it gets stuff, like so say we order a stack. I wish that you could just say a stack. That would be nice. it will put all the ingredients in here, and there you go. And it's just going to automate them and send them into the system. And I have told this specifically to grab circuit boards. So if we put a circuit board in here, oh, because it only pulls from the output slot, but that's fine. Just pop it in there and it goes away. So yeah, that's how you automate the Carpenter. This has, of course, the recipe, and this pulls out of the output slot. That gives it power. So at this point, I don't need a mob grinder, but we're gonna build one. And there's a couple of different ways that we can do this. And we're gonna, I know what I'm doing, probably sort of ish. Sorry, that just looked a little weird. So we're gonna set up a basic mob grinder so I can show you how, and then we're going to set up some very specific mob grinders. I mean, we don't actually need like blaze rods or anything like that, and we don't need gas tiers because we have a couple of gas tiers. So we have the catalyzing glands, and let's see, this is from what, reliquary? Reliquary. So we have, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. These are basically the jaws of spiders. These are from ender pearls, ribs from, you know, skeletons, from wither skeletons. So these are actually useful to make wither skeleton skulls if we really care, and a couple of other things from reliquary. So I don't necessarily know that we're going to need them, but we do need to make some skulls because we really don't have that many. So that is our goal today, is we're going to set up something so we can start generating wither skeleton skulls. So I haven't really got a place planned out for it like I thought I would, but it doesn't matter because it's a sky block and there's a little bit of space. Now I'd kind of generally like to go off that way because I don't want to have to be near it. So that is really what we're going to do. And you guys are going to get to see me build this thing. Aren't you feeling lucky? So we'll take one of these. Now I've generally decided that we're going to get rid of that nonsense. I've generally decided that we're going to build it out of polished stone. And the reason we're building it out of polished stone is I kind of worry about having too many things the same, and right now I've been building with a lot of stone bricks. If I can remember how to set up an auto chisel so that we can convert stuff to other stuff. So here's the chunk boundary. So if you care, the red lines are chunk boundaries, and the yellow line is actually the center of the chunk. So we're gonna cruise out this way. And I realize technically I can go down, but there is actually a downside to having too many machines and stuff going on in a chunk. You know, it struggles to keep up with things. And we have space, so I'm just gonna use it. So there. All right. So mob farms don't have to be big. They really don't. Especially if you're going to build it in the style that I'm building it. This is going to be plenty big enough. So the first thing to be aware of your mob farm is, you know, how are you planning on killing the mobs? So have I got dark glass in here? Okay, we're gonna throw up a recipe for dark glass if I haven't already got it set up. Dark glass. Okay, so we're gonna set up a recipe so we can just make it. I like the dark glass, can I say? So to make dark glass, we'll do it here. Whoa, that was weird. So dark glass, about, oh. So if it knows how to make something, it will allow you to make a recipe with it. So we need to make sandy glass, which needs to make this. So this gives us sandy glass, and we just put this in a thing here. So now it knows how to make sandy glass. So we'll take a little bit of sandy glass, and this is our smelting site, so we're gonna pop that in here. And then we're going to look for thickened glass, which is right there. And then we're going to say that this is a processing pattern, which, if you'll recall, just means that it's not built in a crafting table. So we'll take sandy glass, we'll have it make 4. So now we have thickened glass here. Pop that in there, because this is our smelting side. So now we go back up here to dark glass, and we should just be able to do this, make sure it's set back on our crafting pattern. And now we throw this in here, and we can make as much of this as we want with very little effort. So let's get some of this crafting. We'll make, I don't know, 1,000, sure. So another thing we're going to need is dirt. So I figure the walls are going to be the outside edge. Oops. Could just use my dirt stick for this, I guess, but I have so much dirt. So, next process is, how are we doing on walls? So we're starting to get our dark glass already. Now, dark glass is pretty good stuff. I have played with it in some of the other series, but I'm not sure that I have done it in this series. Now, we want this to be at least 3 high. And the reason we want it to be 3 high is we want 3 high for Enderman. Now, I'm not as worried about... There we go. We're going to be using a lot of this stuff, so... And I think that it just breaks when you... Yeah, so that's that. And then we just do this. And this is going to be the shell of our... I guess I could just do this and move on with my life. So this is going to be the shell of our thing here. Now you'll notice that as soon as I finish this, it gets super dark in here. So that is the benefit of the dark glass, is we can see through it just fine, but light doesn't pass through it. So now that we have now that we have this part done, we need to worry about how we're going to kill whatever it is that we're killing. So one of the cool things about mod packs is they have many exciting ways to do things. So let's get some ink. And we have some ink over there. So we can put an ender chest here, and I need to be able to see the top so we can mark it. So ender chest, and we'll make this our into the system ender chest. So everything that this chest picks up goes into the system. We can pop it here. And then we have a couple of different options as far as a flame, a hopper. We want a vacuum hopper or an absorption hopper. So we get a vacuum hopper here. So let's move this over one. I am wondering if it also kills XP. I know, I'm just very picky. Move it to the left, move it to the right. Yeah, so this will also bottle XP. So we have items going into this one, and then we'll take a... We'll make an ender tank. Now I do not believe that we have any yellow patterned ender tanks. So we'll take some dandelion yellow. Yes, we do. Okay. How about lime green? Okay, we do not appear to have anything in lime green. Weird. So we'll put the lime green one here, and then we basically go down to this one. And we'll tell it to XP output into that. So now, whenever we output items, it goes there. So I'm not super particular. Oh, right. Most important part of this. I know. We're just going to finish this. So diamond spikes. I think that we actually have a quest for diamond spikes. I know, I heard the thing. Oh yeah, when I was automating this, we finished these. Oh, and if we had gotten that one, it would have given us the wind generator that we needed over there. Let's get rid of these before they finish charging. Alright, so what other quests do we have? We didn't make the reactor controller, do turbines. We might get into turbines a little bit because I may need to bump my power production. Okay, I don't see any... let's just make some diamond spikes really quick. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. So that should give us 8 diamond spikes. And naturally I need 10 because that's the way the world works. Alright, so now we have 10 diamond spikes. Okay, it works like that, yeah. So now we're going to get rid of that. Now we need some, what do they call them? 1, 2, 3, just making sure that's tall enough. We need vector plates. So vector plates go in the direction that you're pointing them. So let's make some vector plates really quick. Now you may not have seen it, but I was definitely having difficulty moving over there. Because the vector plates were forcing me into, there you go. So now we're going to come over here. And the next step for this is we need some signs. Sign. Now it doesn't have to be signs. Well, I guess it kind of does. So the purpose of the signs is this. Oh man, these vector plates are annoying. Just letting you know that the there we go. Okay, that's a hassle. We're gonna have to figure out how this is gonna work. I might end up having to use fans. But one of the things that I would like to accomplish is I would like to have witch water flowing across here. Now it might actually still work now that I'm thinking about it, because if I have that and I have that and then that and then that and then that, let's make some more signs. probably will never use that many, but... So, let's get some witch water. Hopefully this doesn't cause us too many problems. Witch water is bad stuff. Hoping. Alright. So let's get some cobble really quick to clean this up. And we'll get some dark glass. Because blindness, it's fun. And I just heard a ghast. There's now a ghast over here. Oh! Man, there's a thing that we need to do. We're gonna make this an extra long episode, maybe just because of that. Okay, we need a drop of evil. Hopefully this works. So, here's the plan with the drop of evil and stuff. Oh, it's spawning like guardians and stuff too. So, yeah. Ghasts. Lots of ghasts. Lasso. Okay, we've got one of these, and we've got one of these. So I have to go. Come on, switch. I have to go punch the ghast down to 2 hit points. Oh, there's several of them. Why are there more than? Why are there ghasts in the first place? I hate jetpacks. Come here. Well, that was a bad choice. Ah, where's the other one? Oh, failed. So I'm wondering if it had to do with the witch water being open. Okay, so that's giving us drops of evil again, which means we should be getting wither skeleton skulls. There we go. Guardians, though. So, note to self: if I need more ghasts in the future, we know what to do. So we'll call it here. Thanks for coming. Hope you had a good time. Questions, comments, concerns can all go below. And if you liked it, leave a like and all of that nonsense. Have a good night.